Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Dan Davidson. I'm the CEO of Business Star Makers. So you want to create a business and you're wondering how to make your business stand out among all these other businesses that are going to compete in your own industry. Or you may have a business already and you seem to have been lost in the middle. That's very common, of course, with millions of businesses competing in the same industry, in the same niche. You must be competing with all these businesses, and it's very difficult to stand out, to create some kind of impression that your customers, clients, patients see you differently than everyone else. What's going to make you stand out? What's going to make you seem like you are better, different, and somewhat memorable? That's a very big question, right? Well, let's go ahead and examine a few businesses, and we'll probably come up with the answer. Okay, Business Star Makers is really great in making brands, and what we do is we basically create graphics, we create the ideas, and we study the competitors that are in the same niche market, and we study and see what it is they do, and we try to jump a few feet higher, and we try to do something very different than they do, that the market that we try to serve prefers, right? Also, the graphics, the colors in our graphics, and the environment that we create, and all the things that you do for your customers even make a difference, right? Everything you do that attracts your customer base would have to be customized to your own clients. Okay, let's take a look at some of these examples. For example, here we have Uber and we have Ryde, right? Uber. What does Uber mean? Have you ever thought about that? Uber? Well, I don't think Uber has a name. It has a meaning, really. Maybe it does. I have no clue what it means. Maybe you do. But whatever it means, to me, it doesn't really mean much. Whereas Ryde, when I think about getting a ride to go somewhere, it's really easy for me to remember the second time that, oh, I need a ride. I just call Ryde and get a ride. Or, I just look up, the app, right? Because it has to do something to do with the industry, the niche. And that's a very smart, very intelligent, right, way of branding the app, the business, the niche with the thing that they do. Whereas Uber probably had to spend millions or tens of millions of dollars a year just to expand their business, branding the term they used, the name they used, to attract new customers and have people remember the name Uber with the concept of getting a ride, competing with Ryde, just because they picked the name that had nothing to do with their business. Well, had they thought about that, it would have been a whole lot cheaper. So that's an example. If they came to Business Star Makers, we would have never let them choose Uber. Never. Why? Exactly because of that. I would have come up with some completely more appropriate for what it is they did. And imagine $10 million a year multiplied by 40, 50, 60 years in business or more, right? 10 million, $20 million of advertising multiplied by 60 or more years. How much money would have saved? I would have saved them, or our company would have saved them, just by being part of our company's, client base, coming to us first. Those are the kind of things that you do when you make those decisions early on in your business. Okay, huge difference, right? The other thing, when you think about simple things in terms of your business model that has to do with your branding, when you are designing something like a McDonald's and you have Ronald McDonald, the clown with the yellow, orange, and red, and those bright, and the white and the bright colors, and then you have all those colors inside the McDonald's. It is attractive to children. You have the those packages that you have for the kids. You basically are attracting families with kids. Well, have you noticed that kids want to, right after school, go to McDonald's? Just having these kind of, and the benches are all colorful. They're red and white and yellow. Okay, so these kind of attractive designs that are attracting children, basically, and bring the family in. Well, when you come in with the whole family and the kids are the driver of this process, right? You're bringing in 5, 6, 7 people all at the same time, and then the grandma and then the grandpa. If you go into McDonald's on a weekend, most times you see like 7, 8, 9 people sitting there having breakfast with, the kids included, right? Because this is the place that kids want to go. Is it the best, most healthy food? That's not why they want to go there, right? But just because of the branding. So the branding is driving the traffic, the attraction. Well, one of the reasons, right? And then we can talk about the procedures, protocols, the systems in place, how systematic it is. The other thing is actually how McDonald's makes money. It's really the real estate, right? It's actually a real estate business. We can talk about that at some other time, but there's so many things about it, right? But think about those things. It's huge. Now, the expansion possibilities, the franchise business side of it. There's the brand, McDonald's University. There's so many things, right? So, talking about Starbucks versus Coffee Bean, versus the corner coffee shop or bakery. Okay, right next to your home there is a bakery. You probably love their, cakes, or you love their pies a whole lot more than anything with their coffee, anything they serve in Coffee Bean or Starbucks. I bet, some kind of a coffee shop, that serves the best, coffee, the best bakery, the best everything, that Coffee Bean or Starbucks serves. But you still go to Coffee Bean and Starbucks and spend $4 on a coffee that maybe somewhere else you could buy for $2. Or you can make at home and it costs you 25 cents. And you spend $6 on a coffee or something, right? Why do you do that? Gladly spend $6 on a coffee in Starbucks. And people do that in droves. I mean, they just Why would they do that? Well, it has to do with a whole lot of things that are happening in that business that the corner coffee shop isn't doing. Again, the same thing as the McDonald's that we talked about, but just talking about the branding side of it, right? It's attractive to a certain group of people, the systems, procedures, it's always the same. You walk in there, you know exactly what you're gonna get, the cups, the sizes, it's always ready. As soon as you walk in, it's all there. A lot of different factors, but the branding, okay, the branding specifically is tailored to the young 20, 30-year-old, and it's designed a certain way. The university kids, young guys, there's internet, so they're already branded it in a certain way that it attracts their specific public that they're going after, right? And the space, the arena, the environment, it is designed in such way, all in all, that group of people feel at home versus McDonald's, right? The McDonald's had the colors of yellow and orange and white and all those other colors. This one has the wood, the leatherette, the university looking environment, right? And green, white, the dark green, hunter green, the white. It looks more of a university library kind of environment. Why? Because they're trying to attract that kind of folks. The yuppie folks just graduated university, they're going to university educated folks, right? That's what they're after. You go there, you see like all of those guys just lined up with their computers, sitting there hours, having sandwiches at $10 a pop and coffees at $7 a cup. For day, 8 hours, they're sitting there just on their computers and spending, maybe $30 a day. Instead of going to their library where they don't have any access to anything to eat, they're over there. Brilliant. So it's like a library with food. Brilliant idea. So these kind of little just smart things that you can do next to branding, makes a whole lot of difference. Huge difference, right? Just the ideas of what can I do to add a little bit of branding next to my procedure protocol, and bam, what I could sell for $2 goes up to $6, $7, and people, they can't get enough. Something's different, right? Or I can save in advertising from the name Uber to Ryde. So it's amazing. These little intricacies make tremendous difference. I mean, in business school, we learned so many of these different intricacies, and then all it's about, because then you just graduate business school and you've already just got a click, right? That click, and then the rest starts picking up. You start picking up in the environment by watching things and putting two and two together, and then you just, after years and decades of 2 and 3 decades, then starts to really all add up, right? And you say, oh, okay, that makes sense. Oh, I see that, I see this, I see how that and that just sort of come together. It makes sense, right? The logic, the common sense, and this, and you see how that went out of business, but this sort of is thriving. The competitors are just competing, they're killing each other in business, and the other one is just all of a sudden going out of business. Target versus, we did the Kmart, Target, a Walmart study. Is there a Kmart anymore? I don't even know if Kmart's still around. We did a study 20 some years ago when I was in MBA school, comparing Kmart and Walmart and Target, and I think Kmart went out of business. If I'm not mistaken, if they're still around, I don't see them anymore. But the differences were just, very, very minimal, right? Target was going after a certain audience, customer base. Walmart, a different kind of strategy. Kmart was going after a different kind of population, was lost in the middle, didn't even know what it was doing. Was trying to be everybody's everything, right? And I don't know where they are. Target was a little bit higher end. People didn't mind wearing Target brand. Kmart was a little bit different. And then Kmart has Walmart has different strategy of, as soon as they sell something, their inventory shows, okay, we're missing one item, then the next day they're putting it right back on the shelves. They're never running out of, items. Their profit margins are this little thin, but the items are just leaving shelves and coming right back on shelves. So they're just turning around at 5% profit margin is just going like this, worldwide. So 5% multiplied by billions of items sold is like, imagine that. So that's a whole different kinds of, makes all the difference, right? There's so many different things to keep in mind in terms of all these things in business. These little things add up. Huge difference in terms of how it can impact your business in life, all in all. So why don't we talk about that in terms of your business? Now, what I'm planning on doing is with Business Star Makers, I'd like to take your business and I'd like to help you transform your business from whatever stage of development it is to the ultimate point of its success, whatever you can envision at its best. And I want to film it and put it right on YouTube for everyone to see how we get to do it. I think it'd be exciting. I love to do this. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, it's a challenge. We'll take your business, we'll transform it to its ultimate potential, and we will just see what can come of it. Okay, we may redo its brand, we may take it from whatever it is, I don't know what your business is, but we'll figure out what we can make it so that it completely take itself out of its among all the competitors and stands out. We come up with an idea, okay, differentiate it, instead of being lost in the middle of all these hamburger places. All of a sudden you're unique, you're different. All these bakeries, you're one of a kind. All these coffee shops, you stand out. All these cosmetic surgeons, you're different. There's something different about you. Why? Because you're you. There's something different about you. Every one of us, okay, are unique. There's something different about every one of us. So as business founders, that unique character, that unique nature, that unique thing about us, the DNA, okay, that's unique within us, would have an effect on the business, would affect the business itself. If we bring the flavor that's within us into the business, we impact it. Okay, there's no such thing as ordinary person. I'm just an ordinary person. Who's an ordinary person? You're completely different than everybody else. How are you an ordinary person? Find me another duplicate of you. I challenge you. Find me 100%, even if you are an identical twin. Bring your identical twin and let's test. You're not an identical twin. There's no identical twin that's 100% identical to you. I promise you. There is some difference between you and the identical twin. There is not another human being like you on this planet. Hence, there has to be a difference between you and another business. And if there is, we are augmented, enhance it. Okay? This business, this home that I'm in right now is an investment property, okay? I came into this property, and what caught my attention was it's right by LAX. What caught my attention was that it was owned by a gentleman that was from Mexico, and everything from, and I'm changing things, I'm moving, and I've called it the Western House. And the Western House has Western motif, okay? And if you look at the Western House, okay, it has the Western motif, and it has stones, and it has all kinds of things that I'm changing, and I'm spending money on doing it for the reason that it is a branding, changing the identity. I have basically a reason for doing it, because I felt that this gentleman had spent his entire life. He was a landscape contractor, and he had spent his entire life doing the stonework of the floors, the walls, and the home was built in 1935. It was a Spanish kind of a house. Inside of it is all Spanish, kind of a, home, and really quite unique property. But I couldn't change it and make it modern. There was nothing I could do to make it modern. And the way it looked, I couldn't tear things out. I would be doing a disservice, because this man had spent his 30 years of life here, doing it, in a Spanish manner, and everything was stone, and it was all made in his taste, into a sort of a like southwestern Mexican Western kind of style. So I decided I'll just go with it, just make it Western. So I called it the Western House, and I'm just putting a whole lot of Western flavor on it, and my intention is to eventually, augment that Western flavor and make it either a full-fledged I'm not sure exactly if this is going to be some kind of it's not most likely going to remain a home. This area in Inglewood, close to LAX, is really, really growing. So it's going to have some kind of a commercial nature, and we'll see what I'm going to do with it. But as a, investment property. But again, branding. So the point of it is, even with a home, the Western House. But the reality of it is that it can be done with anything. It can be done with anything. I have not really spent $1 million on it. It's just that it's in progress, and I just bought it. But the truth is, it can be done with anything. I just, I'm just starting. But there's a whole lot that can be done. It's just simple ideas, and a whole lot of things that can be done in business. And I love branding. And it's so much fun. Intellectual property is just intelligent business. How can you make something stand out, and then put procedure, protocol, efficiency, technology behind it? One of the things we do is we put technology, and so automation, technology, and all of a sudden that automation and technology would basically put multiply your efficiency. So that same number of staff that you have, once they have access to automation, they can produce, multiply your efficiency by several folds, right? So enhancing your technology with automation, with procedure protocol, and branding and systems in place would transform your business completely from where it is today within 2-3 years to something completely different. And imagine we change the name, the brand, the color scheme. We identify who your target audience is among all the people that you're serving, who's the most profitable, and then we go after that. And the market niche that you have, we identify who's really interested in your product line or services. And there's so many things to do, but they're all fun. That's what I love, and our company does that really well. So let's talk about it. That's what we do, and that's what you should do. I mean, with or without us, really, that's what you should do. This is really exciting about business. This is what really entices me about this business world. That so much to do that makes sense. Entrepreneurship is so exciting, and there's so much that you can really create amazing opportunities that it brings about in your life. You take something ordinary, quote unquote, and make it extraordinary. Something that seems to be like, everyday, the flavor, and all of a sudden it stands out unique and different. The Western house. There's not another Western house in this probably not only town, I don't know, another Western house. I've never seen one. So it's the first Western house, probably the only Western house. So, and by the time I'm done with it, and I have not started even, but when I'm done with it, it'd be quite different. So the reality of it is that just, there's a whole lot. And eventually I either sell it or I'm going to make it a commercial property or do something with it. And it's going to multiply its value. Multiply its value. I already got a cash offer for $2 million. For, 3 times the purchase price almost. Cash. So just for one small change. Because they saw the value. You see? Just the brand. Now imagine what that can do to your business. Let's talk about all that is possible. I am so excited. But the shows that we are going to create is the most exciting part of this whole thing. So let's start with your business in terms of potential of shows, and otherwise let's have you guys watch them. I have the vision that we're going to have 1 million subscribers to this channel. As to how fast, maybe in a year. Why not? Everything is very possible.